In 583 BC, Nebuchadnezzar II lives contentedly in his palace. Yet, as he lays on his bed, he dreams of a very tall tree at the center of the earth. Its foliage is beautiful and its fruit abundant, producing enough food for everyone. As he watches, the tree grows and becomes strong until its crown reaches the sky, and it can be seen from everywhere on earth. The wild animals enjoy its shade, the birds in the air live in its branches, and it gives food to every living creature. As the Sharu, or king, looks in his dream, a holy watcher, a class of angelic beings that seem to be divine guards of the earth, flies down out of the first heaven and proclaims, "Cut down the tree, cut off its branches, strip off its leaves, scatter its fruit, let the wild animals flee from its shelter, let the birds abandon its branches, but leave the stump with its roots in the ground, with a band of iron and bronze in the lush green grass of the countryside. Let him be drenched with dew from the sky and share the lot of animals in the pasture. Let his heart and mind cease to be human and become those of an animal. And let 7 seasons pass over him." This order is issued by the watchers. The sentence is announced by the holy ones, so that all who live may know that the Most High rules the human kingdom, that he gives it to whomever he wishes and can raise up over it the loneliest or the lowest of mortals. Belshazzar, the sage and chief of the magicians, remained silent in horror with awestruck wonder, debating how best to deliver the interpretation of this dream after he had been summoned. With palpable trepidation, he answered the Sharu by saying, "My lord, if only the dream were about those who hate you, about your enemies. The tree you saw, which grew and became strong until its crown reached the sky, and it could be seen throughout the whole earth, that had beautiful foliage and abundant fruit, enough to feed everyone, under which the wild animals lived, and on whose branches the birds in the air built their nests, is you, your majesty. You have grown and become strong. Your greatness has grown and reaches to heaven, and your rule extends to the ends of the earth. This is the interpretation, your majesty, and it is the decree of the Most High that has come upon my lord the king. You will be driven from human society to live with the animals. You will be made to eat grass like an ox and be drenched with dew from the sky, as 7 seasons pass over you, until you learn that the Most High rules in the human kingdom and gives it to whomever he pleases. But since it was ordered to leave the stump of the tree with its roots, your kingdom will be kept for you until you have learned that heaven rules everything. Therefore, your majesty, please take my advice. Break with your sins by replacing them with acts of charity, and break with your crimes by showing mercy to the poor. This may extend the time of your prosperity." In 582 BC, Nebuchadnezzar II is walking on the roof of the royal palace of Babylon. He says, "Babylon the Great, I built it as a royal residence by my power and force to enhance the glory of my majesty." Suddenly, as the last syllable leaves his lips, he hears a bot kol, an echo of the voice, saying, "King Nebuchadnezzar, these words are for you. The kingdom has left you. You will be driven from human society to live with the wild animals. You will be made to eat grass like an ox and be drenched with dew from the sky, as 7 seasons pass over you, until you learn that the Most High rules in the human kingdom and gives it to whomever he pleases." Between 582 and 575 BC, a man suffering from lunacy, living on the outskirts of society, is observed. He eats grass like an ox and walks around on all his feet and hands. His nails are long and sharp like a bird's claws. His skin and long hair, which is as long as an eagle's feather, is soaked with the dew from the sky. In 575 BC, the wild man who has been seen in the fields and forests around Babylon was the king Nebuchadnezzar II. One day, he looks up to the sky and blesses the Most High, saying, "For his rulership is everlasting, his kingdom endures through all generations. All who live on earth are counted as nothing. He does what he wishes with the army of heaven and with those living on earth. No one can hold back his hand and ask him, 'What are you doing?'" At this point, his understanding and dignity returned to him. Soon his advisors and lords found him. He is restored to his throne in Babylon as Nebuchadnezzar II. He considers himself still the greatest ruler to live, but he was now humble and recognized who actually put him on the throne. For all his works are truth, and his ways are just, and he can humble those who walk in pride.